Alright, what's going on YouTube? Miguel here, and I broke the Mustang. So that right there is actually the Mustang's second engine. First one blew up. Tell that story some other time. Since I started this little project, the Mustang hasn't been really running right. It's been leaking a little bit of oil, and I narrowed it down to the valve cover gasket possibly being blown on it. So basically today we're going to try to save this motor. We're going to tear apart the motor, we're going to replace both gaskets, and then after that we should be good to go. Alright, so like I said, the car used to have a couple overheating issues. This little fan right here, it wouldn't actually come on. And I live in Texas, so it gets about like 4,000 degrees during the summer. My engine used to get really hot, and then, you know, like I said, it used to overheat. That happened to me about several times. It is good now. I actually have an embarrassing story about one time a car overheated on me. I'll probably tell that somewhere in here. Car overheated, and then once that happens, the gaskets on both sides, basically they're no good anymore. Now we're down to the leak being like somewhere down here. I want to say it's the valve cover. To replace the valve cover, there's like several things you got to get out of the way. You got to get rid of the cold air intake. I'm going to take the battery out just to make things a little bit easier on this side, because I know the driver's side gets a little bit more complicated. Probably the spark plugs, and then all this tubing right here. That's all easy to take out, so I'm not really going to show you guys that. What I am going to show you guys is basically everything else. I'll see you guys once I actually take all this stuff out. Alright, so after you get all that stuff out, you can actually take off the valve covers themselves. Just gotta come over here. I think there's just like 11 bolts on each side. I already went ahead and took off one, and they're all 8mm. These back ones, like back here and right down there, they're going to be a little bit trickier, so you might need like a swivel and like a couple extensions. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to take these off, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. Alright, so quick little update. They're not that hard to get off if yours aren't over tight like mine were. This is what I had to use right here to try to get like the ones in the very back and like the lower ones on both sides. As you can see, you know, screws, they're out. And I broke a swivel. Trying to get these off, had to go to AutoZone again. The important thing is you can actually go ahead and take both valve covers off now. So y'all remember like 5 seconds ago when I said that these were easy to get off? I lied. Okay, so I'm actually picking this vlog up the next day. I had to take a little break because even getting to this part right here with the valve cover off, this took me a while. You see this line right here? It's got a screw right there, and this line was in the way. That was the last screw I needed to take off, and it was probably the hardest one to take off. While we're on the subject of taking stuff off, I was watching videos online before I started to do this. Every single one said that the driver's side valve cover was going to be the hardest one to get out because all of this stuff right here is going to get in the way. That actually, it popped out no problem. It was really easy to get out. But if we come over here to this side was a more challenging side because you got all these like AC lines and whatnot in the way. The way I did it is I basically had to like lift the valve cover up from the back while pushing like all these lines up and then just pulling it out. I don't know how I'm gonna get that back in. We'll get to it when we get to it. So this is what I'm working with right here. These are the valve covers. I believe this side is the passenger side. This side's perfectly fine. It's not bad at all. And if we come over here, I'm gonna let you guys just look at this for a little bit, see if you can see the problem. All right, we're good. This right here, this is the entire reason why my car has never run right since I got it, okay? Remember that story I told you guys about my car overheating? I think I'm gonna tell that now, even though it's very embarrassing. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually gonna go ahead and clean all the like gunk and stuff off of these. All of those, they're not in bad shape on mine, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace them. Over here, all this like gunk and stuff that's like caked on there, you wanna get all of that off too. I got a razor blade and a couple shop towels, a degreaser, a little bit of everything. We're gonna clean this up, and then we're gonna pick up this vlog once I'm done. Valve covers clean. They're by no means perfect, but they are so much more cleaner than they were. Barely any oil. I went ahead and took all the grommets out of all these, and then over here, give me one sec. No more black gunk on my engine. Take your time. Take your time, because it's one of those things you want to do right. I'm not gonna lie, this did take me the better part of an afternoon, but I mean, it looks pretty good. Now the only thing left to do is get the new grommets and the actual gasket in. Shout out to LMR, Late Model Restoration, sponsored me by the way. I picked up the Felt Pro gasket kit from them. Comes with everything you need, both driver and passenger side gasket, as well as all the grommets on there. We're just gonna go ahead, put all this back together, slap it on there, and we're gonna call it a day. Here are the covers with the gasket actually on and the new grommets. Another helpful tip, if your grommets don't come out with the screws, just like mine also didn't, what I did is cut off like a little piece of the plastic around it and then basically just pushed them out, made it real easy. To get the gasket to actually, you know, stay on the cover itself, I just use a little bit of Permatex, put some all the way around here, put the gasket itself on there, and then it's staying on there now, so it should be good to go. As far as the engine itself, you can put some more like silicone right here on the engine, but you don't actually need to. Or you do need to is this piece right here. It's the same on both sides, and also like down there. Alright, now that the valve cover itself is in, you want to make sure like the gasket isn't pinched, you know, just go around top, bottom, sides, make sure, you know, it's sitting right. And then as far as tightening all the bolts back on here go, you're going to want to do like top left, bottom right, bottom left, top right, and so on and so forth, and just a little crisscross pattern up until it's all tight. I'm going to tighten that up real quick, I'll do the other side, and then I'm going to call it a day. Alright, so everything is put together, everything's running right, everything is connected this time. Only thing we have left to do is go on a drive, make sure the car is running right, and then should be good to go. Alright, so I'm picking this vlog up on the road. So far so good. Car feels good even when I'm braking. Usually it would like stutter or sputter out a little bit, but like right now it feels great. I think it might actually be like, for the first time in years, I think this car might finally be like mechanically sound. I'm gonna floor it a little bit, see how it feels. Car feels solid. I'm gonna drive around for a little bit more. I've been driving the car around for like a good 5 minutes. So far so good. I have like no issues come up yet. Just got back from my little drive, and you know, like I said, the car actually feels pretty solid right now. It's actually running like I was supposed to run, and for the first time in forever, I can say car feels mechanically sound. You know, now that all the hard part is done, we got all the mechanical issues out of the way, we can actually focus on, you know, the fun mods. A lot of them are going to be cosmetic, I'm not going to lie. This car isn't meant to go fast, honestly. This is my daily for my daily. That being said, I'm also going to go ahead and end the vlog right here. Drop a like down below. Comment what was your favorite part. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because we still got a long way to go with this project build. Alright, if you made it this far in the video, congrats, you found the secret portion that I might be doing in some of my videos, not all of them. So basically, like I said, when I first got the car, it used to have a couple overheating issues, right? I was still getting into cars, you know, still didn't really know what I was doing when it comes to working on cars, so it took me a little while to figure out. You know, I figured, oh, it's probably just low on coolant, I'll just add some more in, right? I probably should have just taken it to a mechanic, because I really didn't know what I was doing. There was this one time where this girl I was talking to at the time, y'all probably know where this is going now. She hit me up randomly and she's like, hey, can you give me a ride to school? I was gonna say no at first because it was like really early in the morning. I'm talking about like I had to be there at 7 a.m. I said yes only because, you know, she was kind of cute. It was one of the first times we were hanging out outside of work, so I was like, fuck it, why not? I somehow woke up early enough to go pick her up, went over to her place, started heading out to her school. I quickly realized that that was a terrible idea because I live out here in Texas and it gets hot out here. 100 degrees right now. I hate it. My car hated it too. We didn't even get halfway there. My car started to overheat. You know, we were chopping it up. I was trying to play it cool. Kept looking at my temperature gauge. It just kept slowly rising. We didn't make it to her school. Yeah, my car started to overheat. Started smoking a little bit. And I was like, fuck, Bro, this is the worst fucking time to do it. Pulling over to a park. Popped open the hood, looking for me. I had some coolant in my back seat. Yeah, it was super awkward, super embarrassing. I was like, yeah, you know, this has never happened before. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It was super embarrassing for me because, like I said, I really like this girl. She was super cute. It's always gone on for a little bit too long, so I think I might just chop this up. I don't even know if this is gonna make it in the video. I'm surprised she even talked to me after that. It all worked out in the end, kinda. If you know, you know. She never let me live down that day. It's okay, because we don't know her anymore.